feel like I'm giving Count Orlok in this coat, but it's generally just how cold the UK is right now. Hello and welcome back to Popcorn Chat. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to 2025. Hope it's been great so far. First film back for New Year, we have Nosferatu. Robert Eggers is back with another story, but this time one we're a bit more familiar with. Whether you know the Dracula book, pop culture, films, variations of the character, or you've seen the 1922 silent film Nosferatu, that's basically what we're getting here with Rob Eggers' latest film, Nosferatu. I'll be honest and say that I was really excited to see this film. I think Robert Eggers is a really stylistic horror director. I think he plays a lot with the kind of folklore that we like within society and storytelling. And yeah, I was curious to see what his spin was on this film. First off, let's start with some of the positives. Now, for me, I think the whole world building is excellent. Once again, he is just amazing at getting practical effects, the set designs, costuming, hair and makeup. Everything was on point in this film. I think Lily Rose Depp did an excellent job. I know a lot of people are talking about her performance in this one, and I have to agree, she does a good job. Very much on the sort of brink of possession at times. She's really sort of marked her territory by being a new Scream Queen. I think Nicholas Hoult does a very good job as well leading this film. He's very much sort of found himself within this kind of horror genre as well, and I think he does a very convincing job at playing very sort of terrified yet so kind of submissive characters. And I just think he had some great reaction shots in this film. Willem Dafoe is one of Robert Eggers' muses, and it's always great to see him turn up and just deliver. I think he really gave it the kind of campy edge that I was looking for in this film, which I think a lot of the other actors are playing it quite straight. And I wanted more of what Willem Dafoe was giving. Though his part seemed quite small, I think he just completely stole the show, and I wanted more of that kind of lunacy and sort of witchcraft and just, you know, completely given 110%. The sound design, we have to talk about the sound in this film. The kind of gutsy, slurpy, everything we get from Dracula is Dracula, Nosferatu, you know what I mean. Everything we get from Bill Skarsgård's character is just gross, disgusting, and makes you feel unwell. It kind of adds to the omniscient presence that the character of Count Orlok has, and sort of hearing that sort of slurping and breathing before he's even in the scene just adds to the terrifying element of this story. Speaking of Count Orlok, we may as well get into the discussion about Robert Eggers' interpretation of this character. Now, I had big expectations because there was a lot of murmurs before this film even came out about Bill Skarsgård's makeup, about Eggers wanting to bring back the fear factor in films that we've lost in recent years. And then the kind of reveal is a little bit underwhelming. I think that's what you would expect from someone of that status at this time in kind of Eastern Europe. I think that makes a lot of sense, sort of how he's dressed and how he's presented. However, it just didn't terrify me as like other films have done before. And I was a little bit disappointed how in other interpretations we've seen him change as he comes to, well, England or Germany in this case, as he gets stronger, might, you know, adapt, like we've seen with Bram Stoker's Dracula. We have Gary Oldman changing different states at various points, and I wanted a little bit more of that. I wanted to see the kind of progression with that character, but it's kind of stays the same throughout. So I was a little bit underwhelmed with the reveal of Count Orlok, and I just wanted more terrifying elements from it, you know. Nothing really terrified me except for that first opening, you know, couple of minutes, where this kind of much more of a creature appeared in front of Ellen's character. And I wanted that. I was like, yeah, I'm hooked straight away. But then it just kind of subsided for me. And I think that's with most Eggers fans, Dracula fans are feeling the same way. On top of that, I think doing a adaptation of an already amazing film, go back and watch the 1922 silent film if you haven't already. It's free on YouTube. It balances the line of camp and horror, and that happened, you know, almost over 100 years ago, in fact. So how can a film you know, of that level, that's silent, just have everything you're looking for in a vampire story. Whereas this film for me didn't necessarily bring anything new that I was expecting. Maybe Eggers to kind of break sort of the confinements of a vampire story, but no, it's very much by the book, whether you've read Dracula or you've seen Nosferatu. It's just hitting exactly the same milestones and kind of story beats. So why would you remake a film that's exactly the same? So this is the kind of main downfall for me with Nosferatu. It's a great, great film. I think there's great performances, really great cinematography, great sound design, a lot to take away in terms of filmmaking. But narratively, it's the same story. And the big bad guy wasn't as scary. So it's not perfect by any means, but I enjoyed this film a lot more than his previous film, The Northman, which again I think sort of falls apart a little bit in the sort of halfway point. But The Lighthouse will always be my favourite. If you haven't checked that out, go back and watch Eggers' The Lighthouse, because that is just the pinnacle of his work for me. But as for Nosferatu, I really did enjoy it, but it's not perfect. Thank you so much for watching the review of Nosferatu. If you've seen the film, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you very soon for another popcorn chat.